Hello, today's video we have the following content.
Tsui Hark blames Xiao Zhan. The legend of the Condor Heroes becomes magic. Fans, I feel sorry for the cinema owner Wang Halen. This wave of operations really makes people call him a good guy. He directly put Tsui Hark on the fire, saying that the failure of the legend of the Condor Heroes was due to the capital stuffing Xiao Zhan. This blame-shifting technique, it's a pity that he didn't go to the national team. However, let's think about it carefully. This matter is really not that simple. Who is Tsui Hark? An old weirdo in the film industry. Back then, he used a few pieces of rags to shoot the fairy like the Legend of Zoo Mountain. With this strength, he is a master of special effects now. Now he has Jin Yong's top IP, but he has come up with a magic duel. This contrast is more exciting than pouring a basin of hot water in the winter in northeast China. Let's talk about Xiao Zhan. That face is really exquisite, like a sculpture. The fans are really awesome, and the data is so fast. But movies are not just about faces. Acting is like old wine. You have to taste it slowly and don't rush. Xiao Zhan's instant coffee-like acting skills, on the big screen, wouldn't that be a big rollover scene? Of course, capital is really powerful. In the current entertainment industry, bringing money into the group and stuffing people in are all routine operations. The investors have invested so much money, and it is understandable that they want to find a star with traffic to make a profit. But the problem is that you can't just focus on traffic, regardless of whether the actor is suitable for the role. It's like, if you make Buju jumps over the wall, you have to put Nurian in it. The taste, tut tut tut. Thinking of Wu Yifan's movies in the past few years, the box office and the reputation are simply terrible. The bubble of fan economy will burst sooner or later. Just like the legend of the Condor Heroes, although fans worked hard to brush the data, the attendance rate was so low that it was distressing. The movie theater owners are probably crying silently, I can't even make money from selling popcorn. However, we can't kill a whole boat of people with one stick, and it's indeed a bit too much to throw all the pots to Xiao Zhan. Movies are the result of teamwork. Directors, screenwriters, and producers are all responsible. Tsui's martial arts style has always been elegant and different from traditional martial arts. This time, the legend of the Condor Heroes was advertised as pure Chinese martial arts, but it turned out to be a magic duel. How can the director be blamed? There is also the screenwriter. Mr. Jin Yong's The Legend of the Condor Heroes is a classic among classics, and the difficulty of adaptation is comparable to letting pigs climb trees. Was the script well adapted this time? Are the characters well shaped? This has to be questioned. So, a movie is like a pot of stew, and all kinds of ingredients must be matched well to make it delicious. If you only add seasoning, no matter whether the ingredients are fresh or not, the taste will definitely not be very good. This also reminds people of the transformation path of other traffic stars. For example, Lu Han was also a top streamer back then, but after the transformation, it seems that there is no impressive work. This shows that if you want to mix in the film industry, you can't rely on traffic alone, you also have to have real skills. Let's look at Wang Yipo. Although he is also an idol, he did not rush for quick success, but worked hard to hone his acting skills. From unknown to King of the Sky, his progress is obvious to all. This may be the biggest difference between him and Xiao Zhan. The entertainment industry is like a big vat, colorful, full of temptations and traps. If you want to make a name for yourself in this circle, you need not only good looks and traffic, but also strength and wisdom. Otherwise, you can only flash by like a shooting star and then disappear in the vast night sky. The Legend of the Condor Heroes scored 5.5 points. Choosing Xiao Zhan cannot maintain its reputation. The film company sacrificed quality for profit. The Legend of the Condor Heroes, the greatest hero, scored 5.5 points on Dubin. Poor reputation led to shrinking box office. The film company's pursuit of profit led to rough production and improper casting, which hurt the confidence of movie fans and caused the audience to lose to short videos, games and other entertainment methods. As the Spring Festival file is coming to an end, The Legend of the Condor Heroes, the greatest hero, which has been suppressed on Dubin and has not been scored, finally showed the score, 5.5 points, below the passing line, which is higher than I expected. It can be said that Dubin's score is the last fig leaf of The Legend of the Condor Heroes. In the early pre-sale stage of this movie, fans desperately recharged to break the pre-sale record, But the theater was not confused by the appearance, nor did it give face to the fans. On the first day of the release, only 16% of the film was given to the film, and it quickly dropped to 11.9% and 8.9% in the next 2 days. As of press time, the proportion of the film has dropped to 4.1. Word of mouth seriously dragged down the box office. When the movie was first released, the total box office forecast exceeded 1.1 billion. Now it has shrunk to 671 million, and it may not be achieved. The reason is very simple. If no one has seen the movie, you can deceive people on the first day, but the word of mouth will depend on the later. The word of mouth of The Legend of the Condor Heroes was too serious. Not only did it face a tide of bad reviews, but even the mainstream media stepped on it and criticized the movie for being empty and stiff, and traffic is a poison to word of mouth. Next, let's discuss why The Legend of the Condor Heroes, which was so guilty that it was the last to score, was so bad. The problems of the movie have been discussed in previous articles, so I won't repeat them here. Let's talk about why there are so many problems. In theory, whether it is China Film, the chief producer Fu Ruiking, or the director Tsui Hark, they are all senior filmmakers who have been working in the film field for decades. Especially Tsui Hark, not only is he a director, he has also controlled many projects as a producer. In theory, it shouldn't be so serious. The root cause is that the film company is too profit-driven. They just regard movies as commodities, not as artistic creations. Profit-seeking is first reflected in the creative logic of the movie. Those who have read the original novel know that Mr. Jin Yong's The Legend of the Condor Heroes is basically the best of his 15 martial arts novels. It has both the weight of history and the charm of martial arts. Almost every protagonist who appears in it is regarded as a classic. It has been remade into countless movies and TV series over the years. I just want to ask China Film and Tsui Hark, have you ever thought about making a good movie? No matter which version of the novel, there are at least 3 volumes, and the most classic Sanlian version, The Legend of the Condor Heroes, is divided into 4 volumes. Wu Rixin made the investiture of the gods into a trilogy. The step-by-step shooting and diligent creation are basic respect for literary treasures. But what about you? It's like a table of Manchuan Han banquets where you only pick up what you like to eat and throw the rest into the trash can. The Legend of the Condor Heroes did not film Guo Jing's birth and growth, and it started with the Battle of Zhangyang at the end of the novel. Don't tell me that there is an overall plan to film the novel. It's just a one-shot deal, making a quick buck and then withdrawing. Of course, I am willing to believe that Tsui Hark loves Jin Yong's novels. A few years ago, he publicly stated his plan to shoot The Return of the Condor Heroes trilogy. As for why the Condor Heroes became The Legend of the Condor Heroes and 3 parts became 1, it is unknown, but I believe he had no choice. The pursuit of profit is secondly reflected in the production quality and creative attitude of the film. I won't say much about the confusion of the narrative and the change of martial arts into love. Let's just talk about the fighting scenes. Martial arts are the most important thing. The audience wants to see exciting fighting scenes. How could Tsui Hark not understand? But The Legend of the Condor Heroes does not have a decent fighting scene. In the end, the duel between Liu Yangfeng and Guo Jing became a two-way battle between 2 magicians, who fired shockwaves at each other from a distance. We can just watch Marvel superhero blockbusters for such a broken thing. Why do we have to deal with it this way? Because the beautifully designed fighting scenes are very time-consuming and brain-consuming, and the actors are also under great pressure, which will slow down the shooting speed. The entire crew spends a lot of money on meals every day when shooting on location. Hurry up the progress, finish the shooting early and leave work early to save money. The 2 actors played some tricks, and the rest was handled slowly after the filming was completed. They spent a little money to add special effects like web games, fooled the audience, and made money first. The third point of profit-seeking is reflected in casting. Tsui Hark is a Hong Kong director, and Hong Kong movies are the birthplace of martial arts and action movies. He knows better than anyone how to fight, who can fight, and what kind of fighting can be done in the movie. As an aside, looking back at Hong Kong movies, the earliest action star Bruce Lee is needless to say. He has real kung fu. T. Lung and David Zhang, who were very popular in the 1970s and 1980s, did not rely on their looks, but on their skills. David Zhang was born as a martial arts master and has great kung fu. T. Lung practiced Wing Chun since he was a child and learned from Zhao Yun, a disciple of Ip Man, Later, Jackie Chan is known to everyone, who grew up with the Seven Little Fortunes and has a good kung fu foundation. Jet Li and Donnie Yen learned from the same master and are both martial arts masters. In conclusion, if you want to shoot good martial arts and fighting scenes, having a kung fu foundation should be a basic selection condition. If it were still a Hong Kong movie, I believe Tsui Hark would definitely not choose Xiao Zhan. Such a creamy boy who doesn't know kung fu would not be in his eyes at all. But times have changed. The Legend of the Condor Heroes is not a co-production, but a pure mainland movie. The director may have some power in the creative process, but he probably has no decision-making power in casting. Whoever pays the money has the final say. It can be said that from the moment they decided to use Xiao Zhan, this group of people did not want to make the action scenes of The Legend of the Condor Heroes well. Not to mention the fighting scenes, there is a detail in the movie that I don't know how many people noticed. Guo Jing, played by Xiao Zhan, fell from a tree branch. The traces of the light wire hanging were obvious, but this shot was just passed. Imagine if it was Jackie Chan back then, this shot might not even use wires. He would fall directly without even playing a sponge pad. The film industry has really changed. It's definitely not that they can't find people who can fight, but they are reluctant to give up traffic. Everyone knows that Xiao Zhan can't fight that well, but Xiao Zhan can keep the box office. Movies can be ugly, but they can't lose money. This is the bottom line. The goal of the film company was achieved. With the support of fans and recharge, the film grossed 250 million yuan on the first day. The platform currently predicts a total box office of 760 million yuan. Break-even is not a problem, and some profit can be made. However, such a movie, while making money, hurts the fans' love for movies and their confidence in Chinese movies. Before writing this article, an ordinary fan in the group couldn't resist her father's love for Jin Yong's original work, so she accompanied him to watch The Legend of the Condor Heroes, but left the theater after less than half of the movie. I think they may not buy tickets to the theater for the whole year of 2025. The box office in 2024 is more than 10 billion less than that in 2023, and more than 200 million viewers have been lost.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.